It's not optimal forehead resting place. I guess that's better. I just gotta rest it on the bun. But then you can't see the eyebrows. And these brows are made to be seen. I had to, let me get right. I had to switch out the nose candy, these two. So we got a scar. We have a star and a little triskelion design. Not quite, but close enough. So I have a star over here, but because they're not in the same frame of reference, so I have like the star here. So I have a star, that little thing, and it's like, so it can either be a frowny face or a smiley face. And then my surface piercing, and then I have just like a stud. This one looks like a little like throwing star, and then a bumblebee, and then of course my industrial. I was about to say epidermal, and I'm like, huh? And then on this side, another little throwing star, a crescent moon. See, this is a better angle, and a dragonfly, and then a lightning bolt, and in my neck, and then I have a sword and a flame, and then that's just a hoop. Because one thing I didn't realize about having a tragus piercing is that it affects your ability to wear AirPods, and I couldn't comfortably fit an AirPod with a flat back. I could only comfortably fit an AirPod once I switched this to a hoop, which is why on this side I opted for the surface tragus piercing. I need to clean that bad boy. Or maybe it's just sticking out. I can't tell. It's hard for me to, it's not hard. It is a challenge to sometimes clean all my piercings. Like I said, I just took these out and cleaned them. Like I took out the posts, because your body always recognizes when there is something foreign in it. So you have to constantly clean your jewelry, especially like something in your nose. Like if you start smelling, if you can smell your jewelry, it's a problem. Like you should never smell anything metallic. Like if it's like your body interacting with the metal. And you know, a lot of people use titanium, but I wear gold. I feel like it's the best for my skin. And not even because I'm bougie. I mean, I am bougie, but that's not the reason I wear gold. And I stopped buying gold from like the shops and I can get the same ones online for a lot cheaper and get like a 15 pack of them for what they want at the jewelry shops. It's a scam. Like, you know, that saying worth your weight in gold, they just aren't. So like this one I bought in the jewelry shop. I paid $90 for this. This one, I want to say I paid $300 for this. But then, so I figured out that they aren't worth their weight in gold because I had what I paid in my ears, probably about $2,000. Because, you know, it wasn't about the money. It's just like, you know, I got it, so I'm going to buy it. Because at the time, I thought that what I was buying was worth its weight in gold. And it turns out, so I was like, you know what, let me just sell it. But because gold is paid by weight, it was not worth its weight in gold. So like what I paid over $1,000 for, I think they wanted to give me like $75 for. I was like, run me that back. Like, y'all, it's a joke. So any type of gold jewelry that's like gold earrings, you can buy the same like 14 karat gold. And you know, if it's real gold, it has to say it. Like it has to be stamped. So if it doesn't say 14 karat gold, it's not. And just because it says that doesn't mean that it's worth what they're going to sell it to you for in the shop. Like I'll no longer buy jewelry from, Like, I won't buy earrings or body jewelry like this from a shop because they're just ripping you off. And I won't buy from a piercer because if you remember my piercing story, this is when my nipples were pierced and I bought some new gold bars from my piercer at the time, and he ordered the wrong size, so I gave them back, wanted to get a refund, and instead of a refund, he wanted to offer me sex in lieu of a $400 refund. And I'm like, where on God's green earth do they do that at? So yeah, he offered me sex instead of a refund, and I'm like, that's hustling backwards. So you got a $400 store credit back from the people that you bought it from, and then you got my $400. So really, you made out with $800. But in the end, he really lost because I've spent like probably thousands of dollars with him over the years. And then he lost my business over a measly $400. And it's not about the money, it's about how he handled it. You know, he kept giving me excuses for why he couldn't give me the money, and I'm like, you act like you so bougie and you got so much money, but you are exhibiting broke behavior. Like, I can't stand people that act like they got it and then exhibit broke behavior. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know where it's morning where you're at, but it is currently 5 o'clock where I am at. So yeah, so now I am being more choosy. I'm being more discerning with who gets my money. It's like, my money is like, that's my gold. So why would I just give you my gold? Yeah, so I'm in a lot better place than I was yesterday. Yesterday I was on here after not sleeping for a day and a half, and I got my beauty rest last night. I got up today. I mean, I woke up relatively early. I woke up at like 8 o'clock this morning, but that's still like I still got like a good 8 hours, which is a normal amount of sleep. Like, my body tends to like lean on the tired side of things most of the time, just because my body requires lots of rest. So I give my body the rest it needs. Well, no, I'm lying. Today I did do more than was necessary because I made a grocery order this morning. And so when I walk out of my house, it's not like immediate where the person comes up. So like when I walk out of my house, there's a courtyard, and then I have to walk through an alley, and then there's an outside door that stays locked to everyone except for people that live there. Like, you have to have a key to even get into the outside door. So I don't know who Sarah is, but that ain't me. So I went and got my grocery order, and it was like 3 bags, but it was 3 big bags, and it was so heavy. Like, my arms are feeling it right now. My arms are feeling how heavy it was. But because it's such a long walk, and then I had to walk back upstairs, I was like, we're doing this in one fell swoop. So I did what I had to do, and you know, my arms are, you know how your arms feel like jello if you like go to the gym or something, which I don't, but so my arms feel kind of like jello right now, but I am well rested. Oh, whoever this is, you do not have my energy. I will not respond to any negativity. I'm gonna just get you right on out of here. Because to respond to negativity is like, why would I even give you attention? I don't get, like, it's like your energy is like a battery. And if you argue with people or give them your attention, it's like draining your battery. And for what? somebody who you don't even know and who's not even worth it. Oh well. You're not gonna mess with my frequency. I'm not gonna lower my frequency. I'm good. I'm good over here. Yeah, I'm having a good day. Feeling very magical today. Been doing a few crafty things. I decorated my journal with stickers, and I have some liquid chalk markers. I just said that in my short, and I decorated my mirror and my vanity mirror. So yeah, I'm just it's a Sunday fun day. Yeah, I'm chilling. That's about it. I'm just determined to have a good day, not let anybody steal my energy or lower my frequency or lower my vibration, because it's what a lot of people want to do. They want your energy, because I put it in a poem. Like, I have a poem for everything. It seems like everyone wants a piece of me, but they want to steal my piece from me. And I'm no longer available to anyone or anything that dims my light. So, yeah, that's it. I'm just, I'm chilling. Let's see what I can read from the good book for y'all today. Let's see, what can I read? I'll just open up a random poem. Oh, that's a good. Speaking of, before I do that, I just open it up to a line. Speak no untruth lest you make it true. So, if you've ever studied like the lore of fairies or fae, it's like one universal truth about them is they can't lie. And not necessarily that they can't lie, they just can't say anything that's not true. Like, they cannot speak in untruth. And so they tend to be very crafty with what they say. And so I put that line, I'm like, that's a line to a poem I'm going to write. Speak no untruth lest you make it true. And see, we have the ability to lie. Humans have the ability to lie. But the thing about lying is that you can make it true. Like, I watched this video one time. It was like a sci-fi short. And it's on YouTube. Their videos are free. Dust, and they're sci-fi shorts. And this girl keeps getting phone calls, and on one phone call, she's like, somebody asked her to go out, and instead of just saying, no, I don't want to go out with you, she made an excuse. She's like, well, I don't feel good, I don't want to go out. And then she starts feeling sick. And somebody else calls her and asks her to go out, and then she's like, there's death in the family. And then she gets a call and that somebody died. So you have to be careful when you speak in untruth lest you make it true. Or, like, if you lie to somebody, don't believe your lie. Make them believe your lie. But know in your head that you're lying to them, but you know the truth. Because if you start believing the lie can become the truth. It's like, I say, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. So it's like, if you fuck around and speak in untruth, you might make it true. So that's why I said, speak no untruth lest you make it true. Okay, where did I want to go? Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. So you know how fortune cookies, right? And so I'm always remixing reality. And so I was like, give me all your cookies. I need to build my fortune. Okay, so let me read this one. You think I'm suffering from distortion because I take the biggest portion? Give me all your cookies. I need to build my fortune. Like an open airlock, I'll blow you out of proportion. Life just isn't fair. I take the lion's share. Don't give me that look. If you scared, say you scared. I'll take you unawares. You should have been prepared. Let me take you to the shop. It seems you need to be repaired. Deja vu, you should have seen me coming. Baby, come back. Hate to see you running. Hope you can outrun a bullet. Here I come gunning. Thought you could outsmart me? I'm 50% wisdom and 50% cunning. Sending you to meet darkness, my old friend. What you thought I was, heaven sent? Get down on your knees, it's time to repent. Even if God forgives you, I'm gonna take my percent. So that was just something that I was like, I had an epiphany. Like that day, I wrote, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So one day I wrote like 10 different poems, and man, did I put in work. Like I put in a lot of work. Oh, this is a good one. I know I've read a poem. I know I've read a quote from this one. I don't think I've read this one. Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. But sometimes the truth, let me run that back. Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. But sometimes a lie is the truth in disguise. Like me, when you look up and see that I'm fly. If at first you don't succeed, well, don't even try. My pets are deadly and I am too. What you thought, this was a petting zoo? Now I got the best of you, and they can have the rest of you. No jar for your ashes, because there's nothing left of you. So I went, like, I just went crazy. And so here's one that I wrote after I got a tattoo. It's like, so I am really good at internalizing things, too good almost. It's like, I internalize things till I explode, which is why writing is such a good outlet for me. So, like, I just took the pain from getting a tattoo because it really hurts. This is when I was getting my entire back tattooed. So, and let me tell you, that was painful. But I remember when I did that. When did I do this? I don't remember because it's not showing the right date. It's showing like a date it was edited, not the date it was made. But it's probably been like a year and a half ago. But I say, keep your head on a swivel, lest you get hit with a force that's centripetal. Be pushing up daisies if you're lazy. Every single moment is pivotal. Oh, I said that wrong. Again. See, my brain moves faster than my mouth. Keep your head on a swivel, lest you get hit with a force that's centripetal. Be pushing up daisies if you're lazy. Every single moment is critical. Drop you on a dime. Keep the change or be the change is also pivotal. Eclipsing encounters, hoping I don't flounder. Uncannily unequivocal. Come in from the back with a raging attack. Hit you outside your occipital. Insane in a membrane with pinky in the brain. It's inexplicable. Never been arrested, but I'm behind bars like I'm a criminal. Objection, Your Honor. The shit they spitting is inadmissible. Bring all your ammunition. I'm an enemy that's formidable. Father, forgive them, because I won't. I'm unforgivable. So it just like, I just took all that pain, right? And that's all I do. I just transmute things that I go through in life. It's like I can take something I've been through and create. Yeah, all I do is take things and I create. And I just use wordplay. Like this one I said, they told me close but no cigar. I said I smoke so much your lungs will scar. You can't top me or stop me, I raise the bar. Crash and burn, tables turn, it's so bizarre. You have an opinion, then show the dividends. Or turn your neck to the sky as I ascend. You don't like me, don't gotta pretend. Go metal for me, you at a cataclysmic end. To you I owe nothing, got nothing to prove. Stuck in the endless dance, caught in the groove. The turmoils of war exude doom and gloom. Dynamite, you can't fight like me, I go boom. Lioness, none impressed, this cat purse for cream. Believe I get it by any given means. Keep your third eye open, all not as it seems. Better recognize royalty, I am your queen. So yeah, I'm just ooh, that was I just wrote one that I have not read yet. I think about things like, so y'all know that movie Trolls, right? I feel like that's an allegory to drugs. Because, you know, the Bergens, they're miserable and they're stuck in this terrible existence. And they feel like the only way that they can be happy is to eat the trolls. So I always I don't know, I just think about stuff and I'm like, you know what? So I put that in my notes. Trolls are drugs the bargains take to be happy. It's like, because then they realize at the end that they don't have to eat the trolls to be happy. Like, they can find happiness on their own. But because they didn't believe that they could be happy, they weren't happy. So, now I wrote something. What? Hold on. My notes are not showing up right. Something is wrong that I'm going to make right. Oh, I wrote this one the other day. You can keep your sweet nothings. Don't you whisper in my ear and tell me something that you think I want to hear. That I'm beautiful, sexy, pretty. I look good today. Get on your knees and worship me. Pay your tithes and pray. Baptize you in my waters. It might be your lucky day. Careful what you wish for. Next thing calling me a bitch for not doing what you say. Go say that to your mama or the next one that you want to get to play your game. Don't hate the player, right? All you doing is running game, right? Baby boy, you not an all-star. Mama's baby driving her car. Walking around acting like you got it like that. If like that was a panic attack. At being the same place you were a decade back. And releasing your anger on the one who always had your back. I'm glad I let you go. You were just holding me back. So yeah, I'm just ugh. Sometimes I look back at things I wrote and I can't relate to them anymore. Either because I've transcended that or the person I wrote them about. I'm like, what a joke. This one popped in my head just now. On a road to this honey, I'm making a beeline. Picking paper from money trees, all I see is a tree line. Been picking apart words from the verse since I was knee high. On top of the mountain while you staring at an incline. You need a backbone, someone ripped out your spine. Flow, mom going through the motions, you can call me streamline. Turn you into something extra corporeal. I had your family crying reading your memorial. You can't trespass on my turf. I encompass all of earth. I'm a tad territorial. I don't ever lose. All I see are views sliming out of the ooze. I'm primordial. Take it back to the fact that you have no vertebrae. That was me. I'm predatory. I'm swimming in visions of gold while seeing visions of old. Call me revelatory. I stole the talent from my kin. There's none left for them. Scary, I know, but it's not hereditary. It looks good in my genes, but it's not in my genes. Apples and trees are unnecessary. The ones who doubt me will be the same ones who claim they found me. This shit is proprietary. I have a patent on it. You can't engage me. You not combatant. You can't enrage me. I'm solitary. Monopolizing the board, but my money isn't funny. Momentarily muting all things monetary. I have double vision, but all I have is clarity. I see things you don't. I'm a visionary. I have double vision, but all I have is clarity. I see things you don't. I'm a visionary. I'm telling you. So all I do is, all I do is write what I think and I speak in lyrics. Like my fist to your face, I made your nose bleed. You can't even see me, you're in the nosebleeds, right? It's like you're in the peanut gallery thinking that, like, you're in the crowd and I'm on stage and you think that we're equal. We're not. We're not equal. We're not equal if you are in the nosebleeds, right? Like my fist to your face, I made your nosebleed. You can't even see me, you in the nosebleeds. And that's how I feel about people in my life. People that aren't in my life, but are viewing me at a distance. Like people that keep tabs on me, people that have found my YouTube, and it's like y'all really be manifesting me into your life, because there's nothing on here that could relate to my real, I won't say my real life because this is real life, but there's nothing that relates to my physical life, like my government name, my address. But I guess, where there's a will, there's a way. So people that I don't interact with, people that don't interact with me, people that if they saw me in public, they would walk by me like I don't exist, are here. People that would walk by me in public like I don't exist, lurk on my page. It just, I don't know. Like, if you don't wish well on somebody, if you just don't interact with them, why would you, like, if I don't want to see you, why would I try to see you? You know? That just, to me, that doesn't make much sense. So, you know, I can't relate to something like that. That's like saying I don't like baseball and then being at a baseball game and like watching with some binoculars and being all interested in, you know, like why be somewhere you don't want to be just so you can keep tabs on somebody you don't like or deal with. I need somebody to explain to me the logic behind that. The logic of lurking somewhere you're not wanted. Like, that's another thing people should not do, is like, stop lurking on people's pages if you don't fuck with them and they don't fuck with you. Like, for what? And don't say it's to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Because if you're not in somebody's life, like, why are you even giving your energy to that person? Have I ever enjoyed God? Let me tell you my circle. Me, myself, I don't have people in my circle. My circle consists of me. The only person I talk to is my mama, and I even keep her at a distance. My family lives in South Carolina, and I moved up to New York. I did that for a reason. I left all that small town nonsense goodbye. But it'll be people in my family, or like my ex-husband or something, that will be on my page lurking. It was asinine to me when my mom called me to tell me that my ex-husband found my YouTube page and called her to talk about it. Like, he had the whole 21-page dissertation prepared about my life. And that's wild to me. So if you don't fuck with somebody, act like you don't fuck with them. If you don't fuck with me, I just saw this man a month ago at a court date. Didn't look at me, didn't speak to me. But you can call my mom and bitch about my YouTube page? How did you find it, for one? Why do you care, for two? I don't know. And I feel like it's like people are addicted to negative energy. Because that's the only thing that makes sense. The only thing that makes sense, to be somewhere you're unwanted, or to be lurking after somebody you don't like, which I have been guilty of before. It's like, let me see what this person is up to. For what? Why? Why do you care? And chances are, they doing the same dumb shit they been doing. They ain't evolved. They are still doing the same low frequency, low vibration things to, they've been doing the same shit. He done moved on. He just moved in with his girlfriend. Sir, you have moved on. You have a girlfriend. We've been divorced 5 years. Why are you here? I don't care. I don't care his reason for being here. He just shouldn't. He shouldn't. And that's the thing. People need to learn how to detach. And that's another thing. People aren't, people come into your life and you think that they're going to be there forever. And then, well, let me tell you something. If I had a nickel for every person that said they'd be in my life forever but ain't here now, I would be more rich than I am. I mean, some people aren't forever. Some people are lessons to be learned. And then you're still going to keep attracting the same type of people. You're going to attract like the same type of person, but in a different form until you learn that lesson. So it's important to detach from people who you know are not good for you, who bring out the worst in you, who are low vibration, who are low frequency. But people like being with toxic people. Like, there's something about negativity that is addicting almost. Like, some people are addicted to being toxic. And this is, I can't say I'm toxic. I'm not toxic. If I'm toxic, I'm toxic by myself, because this is mostly the extent of my social interactions, because I'm just not a people person anymore. I'm barely a person. I'm not a human being. I'm an alien. So I don't want to, so I don't like, it's just hard for me to understand. Like, I like figuring things out. I like knowing why things work. And it's just like, well, why would you want something that's not good for you? But it's just like, it's not even just people, people like lots of things that aren't good for them, drugs, alcohol, substances. That is one of many reasons why I do not partake. There's a reason they call alcohol spirits. And some people when they partake, when they imbibe spirits, they invite spirits. I put that in a poem too. It's like, you ask me why I don't imbibe spirits. I say, why would I invite spirits? Who wants to invite a spirit to take over you? It's like, so you know how some people drink and get like they're possessed? They don't let that spirit possess them. But I feel like these things in your life, like that, like all negativity, you are meant to transmute that into something positive. I say it all the time. I'm going to say it until, it's a dead horse. I'm beating a dead horse. An obstacle is not meant to stop you. You are meant to overcome it. That's why it's called an obstacle course. The obstacle does not bar the way, it is the way. It's like, whatever you think is stopping you is only stopping you because you're not trying hard enough to get over it. And whether that be a person, an idea, and when you think about it, when you think about people, it's like, you realize that we all have like a version of people in our heads. And then when you think about that person, you're not actually thinking about that person. You're thinking about your version of them. So it's like, you're just an archetype to them. Like, I know that I played like the villain archetype to certain people. And that's why I guess they still feel the need to keep an eye on me. But it's like, when you think about a person, you're not actually thinking about that person. You're thinking about who that person was to you. You're not actually thinking about that person. Like, you ever have like fake conversations in your head with people? You ever have arguments in your head with people? You're not really talking to that person. That's just your brain's way of trying to work something out. And I have done that. Like, I used to do that, especially in relationships, because I would choose people who I could not healthily communicate with. Like, for instance, if I would go to them to try to express a boundary, and I would tell them like, hey, this one thing you did upset me. And instead of being like, I hear you, let's talk about it, they will be like, well, there's this one thing you did. And then it becomes a tit for tat thing. It's like, you can tell me something I did that crossed your boundaries at any other time, except for when I'm trying to tell you about something that you did. And so I've always chosen people that I couldn't healthily communicate with. So I would like I would argue with them in my head. And that sounds so crazy to say out loud. I would argue with a fake person in my head because it's not the real person. It's just my version of them that exists only here. You know, there are versions of everybody. There's the person that exists in reality, and then there's the person in your head. And then I had this bad habit of building people up in my head to be the person that I wanted them to be, the person that they had the potential to be versus the person that they actually were. It's like I was living in my own reality. Like I created my own matrix in my head about somebody and then had the nerve to be devastated when they broke my heart. But yeah, it's crazy because I used to be that person. I used to be the person that would have fake conversations with people in my head. And so now it's like in my mind's eye, if I want to talk to somebody, like I just picture myself talking to myself in the mirror because I had to like break away from it and realize it wasn't real. Like there's this thing, especially in neurotypical people, and it's not an actual diagnosis, but it's called limerence. And it's usually about like you have created basically a fake relationship in your head with usually someone that you know in real life, but either one, you're not really attracted to them in real life, or you know it would never work with them, but in your head it's like you create this fake relationship. And then I realized that I did that with somebody that I was with, because even though we pretended we were in a relationship, the relationship that I was in with him in my head was better than reality. So it's like I would be with him and then I would leave, and then I would picture fake scenarios in my head. But it's like sometimes your brain can't distinguish between what's in your head and reality. And me, I have a very vivid imagination. I picture things in my mind's eye like as easily as I like how I see my face right now is how I see things inside my head. So to give you an example, I often confuse books I read with movies I watch. Like I'll read a book and then it'll be a few days later I'll be like, what was that movie I watched the other day? And then realize that it was something I read. Because when you think about a movie you watch, while you're not watching it, you just remember in your head what it looked like. And that's how I am with books too. Because my imagination is so vivid that I see things in my mind's eye as clearly and as vividly as I see things in front of me. And because of that, it was especially detrimental for me to be in this fake relationship with someone that I was in a real relationship, but the fake relationship was better. And looking back and talking about it, it's crazy because like you was in a real relationship but then a fake relationship at the same time. And I feel like a lot of women fall for that trap. They idealize a man's potential and not his actual. And they fall for a man's words and not his actions. And that's what I was guilty of. Like I would picture the things he said to me happening in real life in my head. Like I would paint these pictures in my head of these scenarios about how he said we were going to live life together and we were going to get married one day. Like he painted such a pretty picture, but the reality didn't compare. You know, he asked me to marry him and it was just words, and then it was like, oh well, I was just doing that to be romantic. Don't nobody romantically ask somebody to marry them. Like, who asked somebody to marry them and don't mean it? Even gave me a ring. But I was just being romantic. No, you was just laying in my guts and it felt too good, so you just lost your mind. Asked me to marry him, but then the relationship ended because he ghosted me. He ghosted me because he moved in with another woman. He moved in with another woman. He was losing the spot he was staying at and moved in with another woman, and just, ghosted me after almost 2 years. And I had the audacity to be devastated by it. I didn't want to believe that the person that I had built him up to be was the reality. I didn't want to believe that somebody claimed that they loved me so much and couldn't live without me and never wanted to be without me and wanted to spend every day of their life. I could not believe, I could not fathom that somebody like that would leave me. And then I realized, then my brain started doing the math. My brain took everything that was on this shelf, all the red flags that I ignored. My brain took everything that I didn't want to see and just dumped it on top of me. And it took months to crawl back to reality, to see that the man that I had idealized was only not the perfect man, was only not good for me. But even though he never put his hands on me in that way, he was still like verbally manipulative and abusive. And I'm like, holy shit, I was living in Delulu land. Like, it's like, how there's these responses, like trauma responses, like, fight, flight, freeze, fawn. So it was like a fawn response for me. Like, there was a predator in front of me, and I'm like, look at Bambi. Oh, he looks so soft. Let me just love him until he's just this docile creature. Like a Beauty and the Beast type thing, right? Like, I'm thinking he's who the man was, but he was really the beast. And it was so hard to crawl back to reality. Like, I couldn't believe it. My ego took a hit. I'm like, how could someone do that to me? But how I was treated. I do say that people treat you how you allow them to treat you. But on the other hand, the flip side to that is how someone treats you is not representative of you. It's representative of them. And what's crazy about it is that he would try to build me up, right? But he would always say things about my looks. He would the things that he would try to build me up about were superficial. It would be how the sex was so good, how it was so beautiful, this, that, and the third. But it was never anything meaningful. Like, when it was about my poetry, I was a waste of talent, because at that point in time, I had just started writing again, and I wasn't ready to put it on a platform yet. And now that's about half of what I talk about. So when it's about sex and stuff like that, it's like how great I am. But when it's about something that actually matters, he would try to down me. And if you never listen, if you are a woman, don't ever, 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 ever send a man nudes. It don't matter if it's your husband or a boyfriend or whoever, unless they're paying for it. I mean, if you're trying to get your money, you do you, boo. But sending someone nudes that you think you are in a relationship with, well, feelings change, relationships end. And this same ex, after we had broken up, it was, like I said, it was hard for me to detach. I saw him one time after we broke up, but we had talked on the phone a few times, and I was stupid. And one of those conversations, he tells me, I never told you this, but there are about 4 or 5 guys that asked me for money to have sex with you. And I'm like a pimp? And the part that makes it even worse is because during that same conversation, he also told me that these were men that he showed my nudes to, men that I worked with, men that I saw every day. And they asked him for money to have sex with me. Like, how? I'm like, this is the same man that claimed he loved me and wanted to spend the rest of his life for me, was secretly trying to pimp me out to people. And him knowing my past, knowing what I went through, knowing that someone tried to do that to me before, it's like, and because I am so non-reactionary, I'm not the type that, like, I'm not with that rah-rah shit. I don't scream. Like, I can be talking with this same tone of voice and inflection about some fuck shit you did. Like, I can do it in a calm voice. And because I have a tendency to just listen, I let people tell themselves. And it's like, when people feel like they're not being judged, they will tell you the most. It's like, so you really felt comfortable telling me basically that you wanted to pimp me out. Like, that you were showing off, hey, look what I got. Look what she's doing for me. And then they wanted a piece of the action. I'm just like, okay. And that was the last time we ever spoke. I'm lying. It wasn't. It might have been once or twice after that, but... So, I am a very reflective person, meaning I ruminate on things. It's like, so when I'm experiencing something, I don't always see it for the way I do after it happens. And then, like they say, hindsight is 20/20. It's like, I didn't react during the conversation, and I was just, after we got off the phone, I was like, so he really just admitted that he tried to pimp me out. Like, it's like, I never told you this, but all these guys tried to pay me to have sex with you. I'm like, interesting. And I didn't even ask, like, what did you tell them? Because I probably wouldn't have liked, what he said. And the only reason he didn't, I can tell you right now, the only reason he didn't is because, like, not because he was possessive. I guess you could look at it like a form of possession, but he didn't want to share me. Like, he would have viewed me as dirty for doing what he was basically advertising me for. Like, why would you show somebody something like that and be like, oh, by the way, you can't have it? Like, look at this shit though, but you can't have it. Like, why would you advertise something that you're not going to sell? So just the fact that you're out here advertising it. So basically, in short, never send a man nudes, because that's how he's going to try to sell you to people. That's the advertisement that you're dumb enough to do and send to him for free. And then he's going to be like, look at this. Look at this. Look what this bitch is doing for me for free. Oh, you want to pay her to do it? Like, he would have been better off sending them my way and having me do that myself. Like, hold on, we can talk, we can negotiate. Versus just showing other people and then being like, nah. Like, shit, at least I could have got some money. Not that I would have, especially people from my job, but, that's another reason, don't mess with people from your job. Like, you got half the job seeing naked pictures of me that I sent you, which is stupid. So never send a man nudes, because that's just like a free advertisement for him to show other men. And that's exactly what he did. If you send a man nudes, be prepared for the fact that he is going to show them to people. I mean, it's just, if you are with somebody that you feel compelled to send nudes to, know that they're not just for him. They're not for his eyes only. They're for him and the boys. Wild. But yes, so basically, I was in a fake relationship with someone that was a walking trash bag. And then I didn't realize it was a trash bag until it busted open all over me and stunk. And so that's why now I don't idealize people. I take it for what it is. I don't spend time ruminating about what they meant by when they said that. Or does this person really like me? Like, was there a story about me? If somebody likes you enough to do something about it, they're going to do something about it. So there's this really good book, He's Just Not That Into You. Highly recommend. That's one of the things I read when I was going through that breakup. It's like, okay, no matter what a man says, it's what he does to follow it up that matters. So it's like, you writing checks with your mouth that your ass can't cash. Okay, right. You telling me all these things you want to do. How you're going to take me shopping and you want to spend money on me and we're going to get married one day. If a man's words if his actions do not match his words, leave that man alone. Because all that is a liar. Because the truth is, it don't matter what he said. It matters what he did. It don't matter what he promised to give you. It matters what he gave you. Sure, it's like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing all these things that you promised but failed to deliver. One of my favorite lines that I ever penned in a poem was about that. You placated me with promises of the future that never came to fruition, then made me feel crazy for listening to my own intuition. And I just talk about this now because they are good examples. It's, that person was a lesson for me to learn. And because I am no longer willing to settle, I haven't had a person like that in my life since. I haven't had anyone in my life since, because I actively took a break from dating. And then I decided not just to deal with people just because they were interested in me. When I was younger, like the first like 3 or 4 people that I dated, the only reason they had access to me was because they wanted it and they tried. Now, I am way more discerning about who gets my attention, because attention is energy, power. And it wasn't until after I had, a spiritual awakening and started doing shadow work, like Going Into the Void, did all of like years worth of soul work within a matter of months. It wasn't until I really learned my value that I stopped giving whoever wanted access to me just because they wanted it. So what you like mean? What's that mean? What have you done to be worthy of having access to me? And if the answer is nothing, why should you get access to me? And that's really what it means to me by like know your worth and add tax. That's something a lot of people say, but not a lot of people do. Like, if you talk about know your worth and add tax, and you in a toxic relationship you refuse to leave, well, you decided that you are worthless. The saying worthless is because you decide you are worth less than your spirit knows you are really worth. And that's why it is so important to only keep people around you that are going to elevate you to the next level. So it's something I've been saying in my head. It's like, I am only manifesting people in my life who are beneficial, who are going to help me get to the next level. And I'm being very specific about what I said, because for a minute I was like, I am attracting my divine match and no one else. And then I'm just like, hold on. And no one else. Like that, I need more than one person. If you're trying to build a circle of people, then you need more than one. You need a group of people who you can call on. Like you need, even Jesus had prophets, right? Jesus had apostles, right? So I changed what I said to I'm only attracting people in my life who are going to assist me in any way, who are beneficial to my life, who want to help me reach the next level. So it's really important what you say and what you think. Like, that's what it goes back to, like, talking about how the fae couldn't lie and they couldn't speak any untruth. Because it's like you manifest your own reality. Like, people who are always like, my mom is one of these people who's like, so if we're riding through a parking lot and she's trying to get a spot, well, it'll be my luck. There won't be no spots at the front. And then guess what? There's never any spots at the front. Whereas somebody like me, it's just like, I'll be like, okay, so for instance, I did this yesterday in this video. I was talking about how a lot of times at the eyebrow spot that there aren't people there to do a henna tattoo. And I was like, watch. I was like, I'm manifesting that. I'm going to go get my eyebrows done. I'm getting a henna tattoo done. And there's going to be someone there that's going to do it. And there's not going to be a line when I walked in. I walked in. I was the only person there. And it was the same lady did my eyebrows and my henna tattoo. So it's like, you know how it's like they talk about like lucky girl syndrome or whatever they want to call it. It's just like, ooh, well, I'm going to go out and all these great things are going to happen. And that is what people with a higher frequency do than people with a lower frequency. It's like if you have a low frequency and a low vibration, those are low vibrational thoughts. If you say, I can't win for losing, that's like a poverty-minded thought. You can't win for losing. And like me, like the opposite of that is all I do is win. Like, you get on your DJ Khaled shit. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Or, just call me French Montana because I don't worry about nothing. And if you are, if you are around people like that, then they start affecting your frequency. Like, I can't do it. And that's why I say self-love is the best love. That's the truth. Self-love is the best love. And it is. And that's like, treating yourself is the best thing you can do. So like right now I'm kind of on my fallback shit just until, I'm having surgery next month. So I'm really I have appointments and stuff that I have to go to before I can do that. But that's where my main focus is right now. And then I'll be recovering and then, I'm going to pop back up like a jack-in-the-box. But, like, I go by my own seasons, like spring. You know how they say spring forward and fall back? Like, if I want to start a new project or something, I do it in spring. Because I don't care what nobody says about the new year. It don't start in January. You can't promote growth in the dead of winter. So that's why a lot of people's New Year's resolutions fail. So I don't know how true this is, but the new year used to start in spring, right? Because spring is the season of growth. And then they called people who still celebrated it in April Fools. And that was the origin of April Fool's Day. And I don't know how true that is, but it makes sense because, people feel like they have the authority to change time, or like, hey, we're just going to add some months to the calendar because we can, and it's all an illusion anyway. So spring is a good time to, like, if I have any new projects or I have something that I want to do or something or I'm working on, I'll do it at the beginning of spring. Like, I'll start on the spring equinox because that'll be like my new year. So I spring forward. And usually around this time of year, like around my birthday, I'll like fall back for a minute and just get my mind right. So it's like I'm typically more active and more seen like during spring and summer months, and then I'll fall back, and then I'll end up like popping back out in usually like around Christmas time, around December. So it's like people might see me outside a lot. Like I'll be outside, I'll be doing my hair, nails, getting tattoos. Like I did that for like 3 months. I was at a tattoo shop just about every week, or a couple times a week, in fact. And now it's like I probably won't be there. I probably won't work on another tattoo until probably like around Christmas time, because there are seasons for doing things. And so I am in the season of promoting good health. So again, this is like my bow and arrow analogy. Sometimes if you want to spring forward, you have to fall back. Like if you're trying to spring forward, right? You have to pull back on the drawstring of the bow. So if you want to spring forward, you have to fall back sometimes. And that's about where I'm at right now. Like when I tell you that I would love for my nails to be done right now, especially being that it's about to be my birthday. But that's why I did like my eyebrows and the henna tattoo, because it's like, well, what little thing can I do that'll still have me feeling like me? And the only reason I'm not doing that right now is because, like I said, I have appointments coming up. I'm having surgery in a little under a month, a little over a month. The 14th of next month, I'm having surgery on my left shoulder, and that's my dominant arm. I'm left-handed. So I am physically, mentally, spiritually preparing for that. And so it's like whatever I give my attention to, I give my entire attention to. So that's why I'm falling back to spring forward with my health, right? And then once I get recovered and everything, so I'll probably pop back out like around like December, like around Christmas time. So, seasons, right? There are seasons for things. And right now is a season of working on my health, working on myself. I popped out this summer. I went down south, visited people, visited family. And now, so it's like, the Jack in the Box popped out. And now she's popped back in. And that's just, so that's what I typically do around, times like this. Because summer is pretty much over for me. Like I said, birthday's next week, and it's just, I'm having a low-key birthday this year. I'm going to go to the aquarium. That's my plan. So I'm going to go to the aquarium. That's been on my list all year of what I want to do, and decided I was going to save it for my birthday. So, go out to dinner. Just have a me day. A self-care day. Solo dolo. And then I am off duty, as my shirt implies. So it is a season of me. It's a season of health. I want to be in better health, and I am going to control what I can control and let go of everything else, and let go of what I can't control, and what I can control it. So I've been on here running my mouth for over an hour. So I think I'm about to pop off, get something to eat, drink some liquids, do my thing. So